Good evening. Welcome to Coffee Talk. It is Friday, the 21st of February, 2025, and it is 7 p.m. or right there at it. KP Heathen, my friend from Louisiana, welcome. Hope you had a good week, and I hope you have a blessed upcoming weekend. Should be an interesting live stream this evening. We're going to talk about some of the upcoming summer plagues and pestilences and things that are very unpleasant that we may have to look forward to or to dread. Idaho Garden Girl. Welcome, Stephanie. And Uncle Al, Die Bullfrog 79 in the house. Welcome, Uncle Al. Uncle Al had sent me a text message, said, "Hey, let's talk about the upcoming summer plagues. That ought to be a good one." Oh, God. And of course, be careful, do not drink the water. The curse of the three sisters. You need to filter or boil your water. Isn't that a good one? And there are a lot of places where you do need to filter or boil your water. They'll give you a boil warning. Corpus Christi, which is a couple hours south of me, they oftentimes have problems with the water supply. Stuff smells funny. Stuff that has a funny color to it. They're on a boil. They say, don't drink it. Or they'll say, boil it. Boil warnings. Holly Ivans in the house. Hello, Holly Ivans. And the Bud Files. Good evening, one and all. Isn't that a depressing thing to think about? Upcoming summer problems. And I can top Uncle Al on some of this because he's talking about diseases and what he calls the plagues or a pestilence or whatever. I would like to mention, let's talk about briefly diseases and epidemics of the 19th century. 19th century is when we really started getting into the nation being built and the technology, population growth, technology, development of technology. Smallpox, typhus, yellow fever, scarlet fever, cholera. Those are some of the biggies. Those are 5 biggies of the 19th century. Cooking dinner sounds good. All right. While we're talking about diseases and epidemics, childhood plagues, measles and mumps, chicken pox. You remember those? Oldies but goodies? Well, apparently they're coming back. They're having an outbreak in West Texas. Here's some summer things to look forward to. Cockroaches, mosquitoes, sandflies, ticks, ants, locusts, mice, snakes. Think about those. Those would be some unpleasant things to deal with. Wood ants, got to watch out, let them get in and then they start eating your framing. Fire ants, those are nasty critters. You got to nip them in the bud. Try to get rid of them. When they show up, get rid of them. Yeah, there are remedies for them all. Yeah, there certainly are. You talk about the biblical plagues, those plagues of Egypt. You remember the locusts? The water turning to blood. Remember that one? Not good at all. Not good. You see what you got started, Uncle Al? Oy. You got me talking about nasties. On a lighter note for a minute, I am going to do a number 5 on news. I'm going to be doing news this weekend. And I hope to get to my friend Dave's, Yoda's box. I did receive notification yesterday that Devil Dog Prepper had received his box, and he's going to do an unboxing. Look forward to that. So, Uncle Dave is the next one to get a follow-up from me. And then I think Utah Mike is in the batter's box. Has he been in here tonight yet? Yes, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Every day, praise his name. Yeah. Well, in order for us to live, certain things we need. We need oxygen, the air we breathe. We need water. We can't go a few minutes without breathing. We need water. They say you can theoretically go 3 days without water. Well, you don't want to go without water. And we should drink 8 glasses of water a day. That would be the equivalent of 4 half-liter bottles. Should have 4 of those a day. Now, it's important. Yeah, bed bugs and crabs. Wonderful, Uncle Al. The crabs. Bed bugs are nasty. They got those all over the place. Need to clean up your bedding. You gotta hot water. Clean your bedding. There's a lot of disruptions. Holly. Enrique Trevino, welcome, my friend. We are right at 10 minutes into the live stream. Enrique, you messed some good talk. We've been talking mess. We talked about some biblical plagues. We talked about diseases and epidemics. We talked a little bit about summer plagues. Uncle Al threw in the curse of the 3 sisters in a text message to me. Filter or boil your tap water. Plagues, domestic, foreign. breathing. You know, some people are pestilences. You know, they're very nasty to be around and they cause grief. Think about that one. That could be a pestilence. An individual, especially if they're in a position of authority. Not referencing anyone in particular. Do not let people in your house that you can't trust with plagues, LOL. Little Lone Prepper. Hello, Little Lone Prepper. Yep. No, you certainly do not want bed bugs. You don't want boils and open sores. You don't want any of that stuff. One of the biggies was when the water turned to blood. That was in the Egyptian plagues. That was absolutely horrible. And the locusts, the plague of the locusts, that was a horrible plague. You know, there Pre-retirement days and Melinda Elliott. Welcome. Please leave a like to support the channel. Uncle Al told me he's going to be doing a series of 3 videos on plagues. I look forward, hopefully, to viewing them. Prayer is important. That is true. Prayer is important. Pray daily. You get up in the morning, thank God for the day, take your medication, drink a cup of coffee. The Lord's Prayer. Remember the Lord's Prayer. Pray the Lord's Prayer daily. Very, very important. We should pray for those in need of help. That is true. We should. So, as I was saying, likely in times to come. How soon, I cannot say. How bad, I cannot say. I know what the scriptures say. You need to make sure you have supplies for emergencies. Number 1 on that list is clean drinking water. Whether you're buying bottled waters, gallon jug water, larger quantities, you get a 24 pack, a 32 pack, a 40 pack of half liters. You need to calculate how long, how much do you need to get you through an emergency. What is your emergency scenario? Likewise, food. You need to have water, you need to have food. Calculate how much do you need, who's with you, how long, do the math, and start prepping for it. And likewise, medication. Do you take maintenance medication? How much of it do you have? How much do you have on hand? Don't wait till you run out to get some more. What happens if something happens and you're out of your medication? How long can you go without your medication? What medication do you take? You want to build up a supply of it. You get in a situation where you can't trust the tap water. There are places right now where you can't trust the tap water. So what do? Well, you need to boil it. You need to filter it. There are tablets, and I give them out. I give little samples. Those like you get a 50-pack, the 2 little bottles, the aqua, to clean your water. I've started. I have been putting them in my goodie boxes. You need to filter your water. You need to boil your water. I'd use the tabs and I'd still boil it. I'd use the purification tablets and I'd still boil it. Wouldn't take any chances. Bad water can kill you. Seventh plague, thunderstorms, tornadoes, hail, and lightning. Good for you. Antibiotics, good to have. Good to have a supply of those. Well, I tell you what, you talk about scenarios including nukes. If you're 2 miles from New York City, 52 miles. Yes, power grid failure. Now, realistically speaking, you can have a generator. How much fuel do you have for it? You can run propane. Gasoline would be more efficient from the standpoint of how long it will burn or how long it'll run your generator. Propane is cleaner, but it will not run it as long. And, you know, if you're really going to do the generator thing, I would want 2 of them. And I would want to alter them so that something happens and you start up your generator. You run that generator and it'll run for 8, 10 hours, 11 hours, depending what load are you running on it. It depends what size is it. So that one gives out. Now you could refill it and restart it and keep going, but they'll do better and they'll survive longer if you have a second one available to alternate them. So when that first one runs down, you fire up the second one, you let the first one rest. Perhaps you might have to do an oil change on it. You have to do some maintenance on it. Let it rest. When that second one runs down, fire up the first one again. So then you start looking at, well, and how much fuel do you have? How much fuel do you have? Now, in any type of regular emergency, any regular type of emergency, if you are trying to basically run your refrigerator and your freezer, you want to keep your fridge and your freezer, keep your food, your meat, your frozen stuff, then having a good generator, two really, um, let's say you got a power outage for 4 or 5 days or a week. Very doable with the generator. The best thought would be to have two of them, so you can alternate, but you can get by with one. Yes, you can run them on you can run them on propane. Yes, you certainly can. And you know, one of the things you talk about fallout from a nuclear blast. If you survive the initial blast, you have a you have a you have a pretty good chance, if you know what you're doing, to survive in the long run. But you need to be able to shelter in place someplace. You need to shelter in place somewhere for a couple of weeks to allow the fallout to settle. You need to be someplace where you can shelter in place for a couple of weeks. And you have to be careful about the breathing situation. You do not want to be breathing that stuff in. So you have to know, what you're doing. Now, I'm not an expert on that, and that is not something that I am prepared to deal with, really. I will say that where I live, if there was some sort of nuclear situation, I am likely 100 miles from a target. So depending on how accurate, how accurate the missile is it going to hit somewhere around the target? My scenarios for emergencies are storms, hurricane storms, freezes, power outages, something that might last a few days to a week. I've been through them before, and that's basically what you're dealing with. And that being said, I make sure I have plenty of food, water, medication. I do have solar. I do have a generator. I have lots of propane. I can power my fridges. Eight in the house, 12 likes. 9 in the house. If I've missed anybody coming in while I was talking, old coal mines are great bomb shelters. Okay. A house with a basement will be good. You usually don't find them in south. You find them up north, where the weather tends to be very bad in the wintertime. They're real big on basements. Well, so I am going to do another news probably tomorrow if I feel like it. I was a little sick this week. Still got some sinus, cough, a little bit of a cough. I'm taking cold flu medication. But I'm going to see about doing another news. It'll be the 5th one. And my top is going to be a deep dive into chickens and eggs. And I'm going to talk about the life cycle of a chicken. I'm going to talk about eggs. And talk a little bit about prices. It'll be one of my little it'll be a coffee talk news. And it'll be 5 minutes or less. I try to keep them down to under 5 minutes. If I'm able, if the Lord is willing, if the Spirit is willing, I may do Dave's box. He's got a follow-up coming from me, and he's next up in line. Devil Dog Prepper got his box Thursday. He has promised an unboxing, so I would encourage you to visit his channel for that, and hopefully it'll be an enjoyable experience. Utah Mike will probably be followed up. He'll be the next one up after Dave. And I can't guarantee I'll get to Dave's this weekend. I'm going to try to get the 5th news video out. I'm try to get that one out this. If I don't do anything else, I'm gonna try to get that one out, and I'm gonna try to do a live stream tomorrow. I'll try to do a live stream Sunday if I can, and I will try to put out a few more shorts. I would encourage you to, if you haven't been, I would encourage you to leave a like and a supportive comment on my videos. I don't do many of them, but I'll be looking at to see who left a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 that I will have done when I hit 1900. And I'm at 1840 something right now. It could be another year. It could be a month. Could be a couple of days. I mean, I tend to grow in spurts, and I've had my channel pop up 25, 30, 35 views in a day. It just depends if something happens, something hits, whatever. And it is what it is. Abandoned tunnels. 10 mines and caves. Uncle Al's come with all sorts of locations. Dig a small bunker. As long as you have 3 feet of dirt around you. Seven in the house, 11 likes. We are 32 minutes into the live stream. Uncle Al, as long as everybody doesn't have the same plan, if it was too crowded, I just have to pretend to be sick and so the other people left it. LOL. So, realistically, things to worry about during summertime. Bugs, ants. You go out into the tall grass, ticks. Ticks have diseases like Lyme. You do not want Lyme disease. Like the flu, can kill you. It's not good. Mice. Mosquitoes. Flies. Snakes. Whenever we would go hunting, back when I was a boy, we'd go out into our woods. And there would always be water. We own land over in San Patricio County. The Nueces River would periodically change beds and leave you little lakelets, riverlet lakelets. And we'd go there fishing. Catfish, bass, lots of bass. And we'd go hunting. You always gotta check yourselves for ticks. Ticks. Unpleasant little boogers. Gotta watch out for snakes. Alright, yeah, I was going to talk about packs of wild and domesticated animals. Feral hogs. Hogs are a bad problem. Feral dogs. Another bad problem. They'll eat anything. And they will attack. You go out. I was watching a video. I guess somebody that Dave knew, he recommended it. Months ago, late at night, it's about an hour long, and he was doing a video on how to build a shelter. He had a small pack and what he, to build like a lean-to type shelter. Had a tarp and had, little, and did a good job. This is back in Georgia. Wanted to do it before nightfall and be too cold, and then building a fire, and well, I'll tell you this. I'm not going out anywhere in the outback if I'm not armed. I'm going to at least be carrying a pump shotgun and a pistol. And I tell you, if I'm out hiking or whatever, you better believe I'm going to have a 357 or a 9mm on me. Perhaps both. I'm just not going to take a chance. And I will have a rifle on me. Now, you want to go bird hunting? Yeah, go have your shotgun with you. The shotgun's good self defense. If I'm out there and I'm worried about self defense, from animals or whatever, 12 gauge double up buck. 12 gauge double up buck. 20 gauge triple up buck. I'd feel safe with either one. They don't have the range of a rifle, but I guarantee you, at the range of a pistol, a shotgun will do just as well, and actually a little better. You don't want anything like tick fever. Nope. You definitely do not. 9 in the house. 12 likes. Do not lurk. Let me know who you are. Please. Hit the like button. It'll be greatly appreciated. 37 minutes into the live stream. So, animals carry diseases. Rabies. Get rabid dogs. Animals, wild animals, smaller animals, they carry rabies. They carry diseases. People carry diseases. Right now, they're talking about mumps and measles out in West Texas. Mosquitoes. Malaria. Heard that one? Malaria? Gotta watch out for that one. A rabid cougar. Fish and Game killed a rabid cougar. Gotta watch out for snakes. Make sure you wear boots. You gotta watch out for them. You do not want to be out walking around at night. Snakes, they look for heat. Concrete. Along a road. Gets dark. The concrete, the pavement hold the heat in. They're cold-blooded. They want to go lay on that, get that heat. Got to watch out for rattlesnakes. You usually don't find, if they're out and about, out hunting, they may not be in groups, but you got to watch out where the dens are. There'll be a bunch of them. Copperheads. Got to watch out for those. You're around water, watch out for moccasins. They're very aggressive. Yep, bats carry rabies. Pythons too. Yeah, pythons. That's more of a Florida thing. Those idiots, they had some animal farms People wanting little pythons for pets. They grow and they get too big and they let them go. People losing animals, their pets. Those pythons are worse than the Haitians when it comes to eating pets. They get real big, and they get big enough they'll attack you. They're trying to eradicate them. You know, they ate their way through pretty much the swamps out in Central Florida. Not a lot of animals out there. The pythons got them. Damn things, if they're big enough, will eat a gator. East Texas too. East Texas has a python problem. Huh. Back in the 50s, the King Ranch imported a bunch of blue indigos. They imported blue indigo snakes. They eat other snakes. And they get pretty good size. They get up 10, 12 feet. And they were trying to deal with the rattlesnake problem, so they brought in blue indigos to try to thin out the rattlesnakes. They eat snakes. And they've been spreading. I've seen them here in Victoria. You know, they're blue-black, and they're good sized. Good sized. You got to watch out. You got to watch out. Watch where you walk. Watch where you put your hands. You got a wood pile. Watch out. Good place for snakes. So, running nose. Apologies. Nasty. Damn. I need to take another dose of my cold flu medication. Don't plan on eating any bats. Yeah, the food chain, there's always something else to eat something else. They have a pecking order. They do have a pecking order. So, keep track of what's going on in the news. I go to alternate sources. I don't like the big three, the liberal media. But I get a lot of my stuff on alternate sources, whether it be electronic print or some of the channels that I find more reputable, sources I find more reputable. And you know, there is a food chain. And we're technically at the top of the food chain. We're the alpha predator, I guess you'd say, the ultimate predator or whatever. But so I'm going to talk about, when I do my news, I've got, this is going to be my, when I'm going to talk about chickens. The shortage, life cycle of the chicken. I'm going to do that tomorrow, hopefully. And 8 watching, 12 likes. Yeah, you know, you look at the news right now. The liberal big press, they're going nuts right now. They're not in control. They're crying something awful. And they're all worried because they can't do anything. The Democrats are having meltdowns. They can't do anything. They don't have the majority in either the House or the Senate. So they can't block anything really. They can delay stuff, but that's about all they can do. They don't have the Supreme Court. They don't have the presidency. You know. They are in control in like anywhere from 19 to 22 states. You know, part of the union, they're in control. If you want to know why some of these places are so poorly run and why they're in such bad shape, well, look who's running them. Look who they've been electing. Perfect example of a leftist. I mean, it's turned into a hellhole. California. Now, you know, beautiful state. There are a lot of rural red areas, but the bulk of the population is along the coast, and just millions and millions and millions and millions of socialists. You know, places where you couldn't get a Republican elected to save your soul. And those are the worst places to live. And people are moving away. Did you hear the stock exchange is talking about moving to Texas? The New York Stock Exchange is going to be a Texas stock exchange. All these big, huge corporations with very high-paying jobs, thousands and thousands of high-paid jobs, are moving out of places like California, New York, and Illinois. They're moving to places like Texas and Florida. You know? And they're losing tax base. Majorly losing tax base. Very wealthy people are moving away. They're losing tax base. Well, hopefully the people that are moving to areas like Florida and Texas and Tennessee and some of the other places, they're not bringing stupid liberal ideas with them. You know what got your state screwed up? Don't bring it to our state. Do not bring it to our state. We don't want it here. We do not want it. Reminds me of when I was in college. Oh, stick to the script. No, don't do it. Don't reminisce. Uncle Al's over there having a panic attack. I just wanted to briefly. Um, when I was in college, the big plagues of HIV, acquired immune deficiency syndrome, AIDS, and herpes, they've been relatively newly discovered. And people were concerned about the idea of a mosquito stinging somebody. You know, mosquitoes suck your blood like vampires. So what happens if they stick somebody who's got AIDS, and then they don't get killed, because oftentimes they, and pop them and they die. But the mosquito lives and travels to somebody and then sticks somebody who doesn't have AIDS. And there's a little bit of transfer of blood. And I asked my college professor, I was taking biology, freshman biology, it's probably 1980. You know, we're talking, dear God, 1980. 45 years ago, maybe. And can you get AIDS from a mosquito? Professor's response was, only if you let them F you in the ASS. That was a gay thing back then. They talked about, it was mainly a homosexual disease. Mayor Ben, how you doing? But it's no longer that. It's whoever. Does not discriminate. And they do have treatments now that if you get it, you can still live a fairly long life with it. Expensive cocktails of drugs that you have to take. Might not be as virulent as it used to be. But I honestly believe if a person who's HIV positive or whatever positive, if a mosquito goes and sticks them, and there's some blood in it, and the mosquito goes and lives through it and goes someplace else and sticks somebody else, can it transfer? I think it could. Because there were reported cases in places like Florida where high levels of mosquitoes, where somebody had HIV and they hadn't had anything to do with anybody else, or they didn't have any documentation that was, so how did they get it? There have been examples of that. Truth, Mayor Ben. Let's not talk about that, though. I don't want to get in any more trouble than I already am. I've already been told that people get advisories about me, that they get these warnings, content warnings. And I don't want to be accused of doing anything that warrants a content warning. Yoda, my friend. Yoda. I had mentioned you. Your ears must have been ringing. I don't know if you were lurking or what. I said I was going to try to get your box out this weekend. Devil Dog Prepper said he got his box yesterday. He's going to do an unboxing video, which I look forward to. I encourage you to go over to his channel. 10 watching and 13 likes. Been a long day. Been a long week. You know, I'm at that time of the year when it's Monday and I'm saying, is it Friday yet? I got about 3 more weeks before I get my spring break, and I'll have 9 days off. Everybody is in a panic about state testing and ratings. They don't want to be rated bad. The thing I'm saying, Dave, I put out a couple of shorts a day. Sometimes I put out 3. I think on once or twice I put out 4 shorts in a day. They say, the algorithm likes 6 shorts a day. Well, the algorithm that just has to get used to by doing, 1 or 2. But it is what it is. I'm trying to do a couple of videos a week, but I don't always do it. I said, I'll get a video a weekend. I'll get at least one in doing a news, and then trying to get a box out to somebody. I have to be in the mood to do that. Doing videos, I have to really be in the mood to do videos, and editing and all that sort of stuff. I don't feel that good right now. I sort of feel a little crappy. I'm tired. Just motivation. Trying to motivate myself to do stuff. I enjoy sleeping. I sleep a lot. I woke up in a panic. I went to bed last night about 5:30. After about 2 hours, I woke up. I guess I need to go pee. It said 7:30, and I thought, my God, I overslept. I should already be at work. And that was my first impression, just panic. My alarm didn't go off. And then I checked it. I checked my phone because I was looking at the wall clock. I checked my phone, and nope, 7:30 in the evening. It's only like 2 hours later. But that happens sometimes, and you get into a panic. Well, he has had some health problems. Devil Dog Prepper has had some health problems. He had a tumor on his optic nerve. They had to do surgery to remove it. He kept his eyesight. Had to go through some after stuff. It was very painful recovery. And God bless him. I feel for him. And I would encourage you to pray for him. Take care, Uncle Al. God bless. Well, Uncle Al's sort of like the best measure I have of it's 60 minutes. So I'm going to encourage you, when you get up in the morning, thank God for the day. You take medication, take your medication, drink your coffee. you better be drinking some coffee. Good for you. And say the Lord's Prayer. Contemplate the day, what you want to accomplish. I always tell people, thank God. Pray always. Tell those that you love them. You don't know how many times you'll be able to say that before it's no longer available. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Lead by example. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Thank responders. Thank the military. Thank your parents. Thank your grandparents if they're still around. Thank your spouse. Teach your children well. We're all getting older. I will be 63 in about 2 months. Remember what I said. Leave a like and supportive comment on my videos. You want to be in the drawing for the next box. There weren't that many people in the last drawing. Like 14. Pretty good odds. Everybody, please have a blessed day. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for another edition of Coffee Talk. God bless and good night. Bye-bye.